In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Optics Plus atmospheric overlays and effects from Benny Productions. Photoshop users of all levels have found Benny's YouTube channel to be both inspiring and entertaining, and now he's put together this collection of effects that he uses in his own projects. If you haven't heard about Benny's channel, be sure to check it out. I've got a link below in the description. So let's jump into the review. So this new digital product's called Optic Plus, and it's coming in at only $19 US. All right, let's talk about what's inside the download. There are 250 different image overlays, and they're all 5,000 by 5,000 pixels in dimension, and all at a PNG format. Working with image overlays like this can actually help you take your projects to another level. It gives them a little bit extra depth, some texture, and really overall makes them epic. So here's a couple of quick examples of what you can do with these image overlays. Jumping into Photoshop, I've got this image and we're going to add some effects. So I'm going to drop in this Embers overlay and I'm going to change the blend mode to screen. What that will do is knock out all of the black parts of the overlay and make them transparent. So I'll just do some simple scaling and adjusting, and I'm going to duplicate the layer. Just hit Command J just to make a duplicate of the layer. Now I'm going to group these layers. I'll hit Command G to group, and I want to add a layer mask to this group. I'll hit Command I to invert the layer mask, and now with a soft brush, I'm just going to gently paint back in the areas that I want to show. Next on the image, I can see that the original image has a downward light, so I'm going to add some light rays, again change the blend mode to screen, and now I'm just going to change the angle of these light rays by hitting the perspective transform. I'll add a layer mask to this layer, and then I'm going to zoom in and just gently paint on the layer mask layer just to soften up the edges of this overlay and really try to blend it in. So here is a before and here is an after. For my next example, I have this car here at a beach sunset and I want to make the headlights glow. So I'm going to add a brand new layer and I'm going to grab my brush, make sure it's a soft edge brush, and then I'm just going to adjust my flow and my opacity down and just paint some white over these headlights. Just slowly building up the white as I go and increasing the size of my brush as I make this headlight glow. So I'll do the same exact thing down here on the bottom light and just build up the white glow. Next, I'll drop in this lens flare, change the blend mode to screen once again, scale it and reposition as I need. I'll do the same exact thing with a different lens flare, change the blend mode to screen, scale it and reposition it. So here is a quick before and after with the headlights, and you can tell how much of a difference these overlays really can make. Okay, so here's a short list of some pros and cons. It's really hard to ignore what Benny is offering here at just $19. You really can't go wrong. It actually works out to be like less than 10 cents per overlay. The large dimension size of 5,000 by 5,000 pixels really make them good for both print and web. And there's a good variety of different image overlays that you can start adding for those little extras to your project. Moving on to the cons, I really can't say too much here, but if there's room for some additional categories, I think I would have added like clouds, smoke, some scratches, and maybe even some splatters. Now in fairness, I've seen Benny just use a simple white brush just to paint in some of those areas, but it would be nice to have a category where you can just go and grab something and drop it in. And perhaps this might be something that he could offer in a future product. Do the pros outweigh the cons? I think so. So if you don't have any of these kinds of assets, or if you've never used image overlays before, then I would consider grabbing a copy for yourself. If you have some type of subscription service for graphic elements, you might want to check and see if your subscription already has something like this as an alternative. Benny says that he uses these kinds of effects all the time in his projects. And so if you're wanting to make artwork just like Benny, then I think this would be a good investment for your money. Hey, I want to hear from you. Go ahead and drop some comments below. I'm going to be using some of these image overlays in some future video projects, so stay tuned for that. Now, I've got another video lined up just for you. While you're here, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.